Ladies and gentlemen, your hosts, Lorelei and Space Deviant.
Black Sunday and Black Widow both star leading ladies as super spies, but one is an homage to true feminine mystique, whereas the other, well...
Don't do it! This was fun! No!
Calling it another Marvel milk run is, putting it politely.
I mean, this is shit. This is shit. That's true.
1977's Black Sunday is a political thriller concerning the turmoil in a certain Middle Eastern region.
The Black September movement will make it unbearable for you.
Hard to imagine, I know. 2021's Black Widow is a Marvel prequel released after the in-universe death of the titular character.
Watch the road.
I got it.
Black Sunday, serious men in suits stand on steps of a Greek revival government building.
Her name is Dahlia Iyad, of Arab-German extraction. Black September joined in 1973. Here is her face. Look.
They're discussing Dahlia, how her father and her brother were ended by a certain army, and her sister was served grape soda pop while in a refugee camp.
She, sister, mother, expelled 49, lived in a tent in desert, the refugee camp Gaza, 49, 57. Her mother died of typhus.
After these revelations, there is no longer any confusion as to how a beautiful half-German girl became radicalized.
As opposed to the fever dream that was Natasha's childhood escape from mid-90s Ohio suburbia.
You remember when I told you that one day we would have that big adventure?
Firstly, that scene should have been set before the fall of the USSR.
If it was set pre-November 1989, that would make Natasha about 5, which would work.
As long as you're not married to the idea of trying to shoehorn in a bunch of silly preteen girl bossing.
I meet you up here. Okay. You can do it! Pull back all your strength!
If they had been living in Florida or Alabama or Texas or anywhere along the Gulf Coast, then I will buy your airborne escape.
But Ohio.
What are you doing here? I sent you to Cleveland.
I should kill you for that alone.
Ohio.
That plane does not have enough fuel to make it from Ohio to Cuba.
It ain't got no gas in it.
Also, we are completely ignoring the fact that fiddling in American airspace is almost as bad as touching the boats.
Kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy.
Consequences.
The final fantastical cherry on this silly Sunday of slop is to have Lil Natasha disarm a grown man. It's fake agency.
Away from her! Don't touch her! Я буду стрелять! Don't touch her!
Now, Emcee and Melina, they begin the movie with perfect American accents.
Oh, you want mac and cheese? Okay, well, I want caviar and champagne. The Red Guardian returns.
Red Guardian returns triumphant.
But then for the rest of the movie, we are subject to those awful accents.
Reunion then, huh? And, I want to say something right off the bat. You haven't aged a day, huh? You're just as beautiful and as supple as the day they staged our marriage.
You got fat, but still good.
I just got out of prison. I have a lot of energy.
Oh, please don't do that.
Set in 2016, between the Civil and Infinity Wars, Black Widow character is hiding.
Thought maybe you'd be calling me to cut a deal. Because from my vantage point, he's the federal fugitive who's desperate.
And we know she's been discovered when her car is hit by a fire missile.
Seems a mite overzealous for someone trying to steal a package from her car.
But plot says Natasha must fight round one with Big Bad Taskmaster.
And that's a man. I don't care what bait and switch nonsense they pulled in the third act. My lizard brain knows that strut and hip structure.
Which one's a slut?
Higher!
2014's Winter Soldier it's probably my favorite of the Marvel movies. In part because of the contrast between the leading characters.
Black Widow, being a death-dealing reformed Ruski spy.
Where did Captain America learn how to steal a car?
Nazi Germany. And we're borrowing. Take your feet off the dash.
And Steve Rogers, being the very ideal of American masculinity. Incarnate. A profoundly humble, morally disciplined, self-sacrificing super soldier. And the very best of Black Widow's spycraft was her subtle move on the escalator.
You still uncomfortable?
But by 2021, time was up for the possibility of any kind of true lady spy work to have found its way into the Black Widow movie.
In Black Sunday, we know Dahlia is one of the masterminds in a devious plot to turn a Goodyear blimp into a flying claymore.
During the Super Bowl, no less. So when Robert Shaw's character bursts into the bathroom and sees her vulnerable in the shower,
he lets her live. Because she appears harmless, and he's sick of his job.
But she wasn't harmless, and her body count for the remainder of the movie proves it. She used her femininity as an invisibility cloak. Modern movie universes have agreed upon the provably false New Age canon that women are, on average, both smarter and stronger than men.
I can only imagine how a modern Dahlia would have reacted.
Written to land some sort of surreal scissor flip, back kick, flying sucker punch, easily disarming the beefy Robert Shaw.
You got city hands, Mr. Hooper. You've been counting money all your life.
All right. Hey, I don't need this. I don't need this working class hero crap.
Alexei the Absent Dad, a.k.a. the Red Guardian.
It still fits.
Soviet Union's first and only super soldier.
Introduced in what might be the most overlooked bloodbaths in universe.
I was shocked at how the writers seemed to ignore any and all moral responsibility falling on Elena and Natasha for having caused the decimation of an entire prison.
Foul of coal. No, it wasn't!
Didn't you know that the standard character sheet of a modern girl boss has a +10 natural resistance to personal accountability?
They'll never know what you sacrificed for them.
Oh, yeah.
Let us imagine every prisoner is both truly guilty and had committed the most heinous of heinous acts. There would still be staff, service personnel, other blue-collar workmen on property. They would all have been trapped in that avalanche.
All to rescue Alexei, who they never allowed redemption.
You should only sacrifice yourself for something.
Didn't you know that showing competent men on screen has been forbidden by the new gays code?
You mean Hays Code.
Isn't that what I said? The grand reveal of the story was Mommy Dearest Melina, the pig-torturing, sociopathic scientist, suddenly switching sides.
Good boy, Alexei. Good boy.
You named the pig after me?
You don't see the resemblance?
And they never explain why.
I'm sorry. I don't know how Draco stayed above the radar all these years.
The writers seem to believe that the only motivation a character requires to take action is a script needs this to happen.
Oh, for all the fake agency that Natasha is given, she does very little to move herself through the story, instead drifting like a leaf on the wind through a plodding plot. Oh, but darling Dahlia, she's cut from an entirely different cloth. Now, we meet Lander, the difficult but brilliant Vietnam vet pilot that she's manipulating.
A naval officer came around several times after my capture and had tea with Margaret and counseled her. And he told her that the life expectancy of a released POW is about 1/2 the average. He also told her about the high rate of homosexuality and impotence among released POWs and stressed the impotence.
Played perfectly by Bruce Dern.
An absolute top tier, paranoid, PTSD mess of a man. She finds him raging around a destroyed house.
Don't you move a step.
Dahlia, though she has just barely escaped with her life, doesn't share any of the reality of the situation to him.
Butter wouldn't melt in her mouth as she calmly undresses, using her feminine wiles and soft words to subtly subdue him back into calm compliance. Dern's character being crazed is something that comes up throughout the movie.
How are you feeling today?
You mean, am I crazy today?
Oh, of course I don't.
Liar.
The movie never lets us forget that it is Dahlia that is working Lander.
I am your superior in the organization and you will obey orders.
You may be my superior in the organization, but you are not a woman. I love you.
At one point, reminding her own spy handler that she's the only person that cannot be replaced.
When Shaw's partner stops Dahlia from her Angel of Mercy mission against the injured Robert Shaw character,
First, we go down and check with security.
When I have given him his pill, I will be more than happy to do that, but first...
No. First, we go downstairs.
It'll only make extra work for me, but if you insist.
we think she might be caught.
But he foolishly underestimates her, turning his back on her while in an elevator.
And this error cost him his life. She doesn't overpower him. She doesn't wrestle him into bodily submission in a fancy sleeper hold.
She sticks him with a poison syringe when he isn't looking.
Whereas Black Widow relies upon some magical mystery goo to dehypnotize a clutter of brainwashed widows, all of whom were never in control of their decisions, making them free of any and all moral culpability for previous bad actions.
I'm sensing a theme.
How do you write women so well?
I think of a man, and I take away reason
and accountability.
And the peak of Natasha's plot, her coup de grace,
is breaking her own nose.
Because pheromones, duh.
As long as we can smell him, we won't be able to hurt him.
Black Sunday's leading lady spy, Dahlia Iliad, is a well-written character. The same cannot be said of Black Widow's Natasha Romanoff. The moment this movie lost me entirely was the helicopter family reunion.
Wow.
In earlier Marvel movies, the deeply vulnerable parts of Natasha's story were once given special care and they were treated with dignity.
I can't have this. Kids. Do the math, I physically can't.
Neither can I. In the Red Room, where I was trained, where I was raised, they have a graduation ceremony. They sterilize you. It's efficient. One less thing to worry about. The one thing that might matter more than a mission. Makes everything easier. Even killing. You still think you're the only monster on the team?
But as the camera cuts to a smirking ScarJo when Yelena jokes glibly about the Red Room ripping out your uterus, I mean, this can't be the same Natasha who wept as she told Bruce how much the Red Room had cost her. All that was erased in one poorly written, deeply unfunny scene.
The Black Widow deserved her own movie, but this wasn't the movie she deserved.
Although these films were created nearly half a century apart, the audiences watching them haven't changed nearly so much as the modern architects of culture might like to imagine.
Which is part of why in the war of Lady Spies, Black Sunday is classic cinema.
And 2021's Black Widow, only a few years later, has already vanished into the ether of mediocre Marvel mush.
Not just a spy, not just toppling regimes, destroying empires from within, but an avenger. You both have killed so many people. Your ledgers must be dripping, just gushing red.
Black Widow was the whole reason I started following Mahler in the first place, the YouTuber. He did, I think it was between like a 4 and 6 hour breakdown of the movie. And I had never sat and listened to somebody info dump on a level just in one go like I did. But I was doing an art project and fugued out. And that's the level of hatred that I had for Black Widow. And it just reinforced the fact that I wasn't wrong when I watched it.
I had trouble paying attention or staying awake to the whole thing because it was just so. This whole thing was silly. It just wasn't. It was just all. It was 80% CGI.
Mm-hmm.
There was almost no real acting happening. It was just CGI explosions and them running around jumping and and stunt people.
There's no real plot. Now, God bless our comment section. I love those boys. They've informed me that apparently, according to comic book canon, Natasha was given some degenerate, low-rent, commie knockoff super serum.
Oh, okay.
So, in comic book, she's not Captain America level souped up. When I was first watching the movie and she's falling off of pipes and she's falling off of buildings, any human, let alone a woman, but any human is dead. So I just don't know why they didn't establish in universe that she has 1/8 of Captain America power.
I think they tried to do that with her father when he flips the He first off, when they're escaping in the airplane, he flips the whole thing over like nothing.
But that's not her biological
No, I know
father.
that, but I'm saying they're trying to
But
imply
he's a
already at
man,
that point.
and they at never any point implied that the other widows had it. I'm just saying that as far as what I have been told in Marvel Universe, she is a highly trained, deeply damaged woman. The highest level of physical training you can get, but she's still a mortal as far as I've been told.
Yeah, they should have directly addressed that.
Absolutely.
Even if they touched it earlier, they should have retouched on it.
And give me a percentage of what she is of Captain America. Is she 10%? Is she a 20th? I want to know what I can expect, because even if you are 1/5 of Captain, even if you're 1/20th of Captain America, holy moly.
Which they did the other guy dirty in a way, with because he was basically supposed to be pretty much on level with.
I have the nuclear code, but there he is. Captain America.
They had
Red Guardian?
Yeah, Red Guardian. He's supposed to be pretty much on level.
No, he's not.
Did he talk to you about me? Trading more stuff.
Who? What are you talking about?
Captain America. My great adversary in this theater of geopolitical conflict. Not so much a nemesis, more like a contemporary, co-equal.
Or near par.
He thinks he is, but they make it a joke where he's not. He did get knockoff shitty commie superstar, but again, they never establish how much. What percentage of Captain America is he? They make him... Oh, did Captain talk about me?
We need to have the Captain America gauge. Look what your hair.
Yes!
Where do you fit on the Captain America gauge?
I would have liked a semi-super soldier established Natasha, because it never seemed like she fit to me. Like I said, the scene on the elevator where she kissed Steve Rogers, because people naturally don't like looking at couples kissing. That's spycraft. That knowing human nature, knowing how to manipulate it, to manipulate a room, to move through areas. That was cool. I liked that Natasha. But after the Me Too movement, she couldn't do anything sexual. And I don't know how much of that was Me Too, and I don't know how much of that was Scarlett Johansson. Not that she wasn't attractive enough to do it, but she seemed to have creeped into that high-handed actress where she thought she was too good for tit and ass roles.
I would say, and there's a good chance, it's probably less of it being her, especially when you consider her lawsuits against Disney, and well, that's just for the money side of it, but the people who own Disney and the money people and the directors and stuff, those all changed over time. So, you got to look at the leadership and look at the writers and that kind of.
Well, it went from being written by the kind of guys who made hits in the early 2000s to being written by, frankly, DEI hires. And we've gotten Phase 4, Phase 5, utterly unwatchable. And I argue even, what was the last one where Steve Rogers went back in time or whatever, and he gave it over? The last one.
Only thing bumming me out is the fact I have to live in a world without Captain America.
Oh, well. That reminds me. Trainer.
It fucking sucks.
Wrong? No, you're not wrong.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, Walter. You're just an asshole.
Okay, then.
It wrapped up the series, but when you take a hard look
Used Ant-Man
at what they did, Ant-Man actually was the only one I didn't hate, although I hated what they did to his daughter, of course. But Ant-Man being stuck in that dimension and having skipped it.
Yeah, like a time machine. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I can't stop thinking about it. There's gotta be some... It's crazy.
Scott, I get emails from a raccoon, so nothing sounds crazy anymore.
So who do we talk to about this?
I didn't hate that. And I actually like the idea of a sub-powered hero having grit and being relentless. I'm going to get everybody else who's more powerful to me together and do this. I was fine with him. What I wasn't fine with was that pathetic Hulk.
I put the brains and the brawn together, and now look at me. best of both worlds.
Well, I haven't liked Hulk since they switched him.
Betty, I've got to try. I'm sorry.
Edward Norton's my Hulk.
Edward Norton was the best Hulk. I mean...
Yes, he was.
I mean, to commit to smooch equality.
I think they were both propaganda in their own rights, both movies. Because, I mean, the one is basically... It's... The Black Sunday is propaganda in that...
For which side, though?
For 30 years, I have been killing and murdering. What have I achieved? Same world, same wars, same enemies, same friends.
It's saying that anybody who supports not our side is evil terrorists, and we're the good guys trying to stop them. That's basically the way how it was played out.
Dahlia was the most bad ass
Yes, she was.
Character in the entire movie.
The trouble is, David, you've come to see both sides of the question. That is never good.
When you look at an upper level, what are they trying to say? They're trying to say that these people will stop at nothing.
Oh, and of course they gave us Robert Shaw, the shark fighting, Jaws epicness.
Can't stay down with 3 barrels on him. Not with 3 barrels he can.
And he's all tired.
I should have killed the girl. You would have. At your age, I would have. What you do not know is that if I had the chance to pull the trigger tomorrow, I'm not sure if I could.
He has this beat down old spy vibe. I got one more. And then basically they're trying to undercut, the fact that he works for a certain nation.
Yes, well, I'm going to have to give you a warning. In your own operational circle in Israel, I understand behind your back they call you the final solution. Man who takes things to their ultimate conclusion and beyond.
Some of them say that to my face.
And he maybe necessarily doesn't love their politics anymore, and he's seen, what it's done, but he still has to go in. And then once she kills his partner in the hospital.
When a man's partner's killed, he's supposed to do something about it. It doesn't make any difference what you thought of him. He was your partner, and you're supposed to do something about it.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
When someone kills your partner, you got to do something about it. Bogey, Maltese Falcon stuff.
Ready to quit.
Now, just blink for yes, or die for no.
All the way in. He's dangling off that balloon. Oh, I have to point out, I still have to look up. She shoots that was it the K-gun, Swiss K-gun?
Yep.
She's got a high-ass body count. But every bit of her girl bossing. And homegirl bosses hard. But none of it's unfeminine. And I think that's what upsets me so much, is that I look back at a movie like Black Sunday with a female lead character that's just, even though she's the bad guy in this story.
People of America, this situation is unbearable for us. The American people have remained deaf to all the cries of the Palestinian nation. The choice is yours.
She's hot. She's cool. She's collected. She's in charge. Even after she gets busted. That moment when she tells her handler, he's doing this for me.
Yeah.
He's not doing this for you. He's not doing this for the cause. He's doing this for me. I'm the only one that can't be replaced. Even though she'd been outed. Her cover's blown.
They were basically like, well, the whole operation's been compromised and we're going to...
Nope.
They already know it's
shoot
us
the other
and it's
pilot.
Not,
Just a minute, sweetie. I got something for you.
It was taking it to that next level of, even though they're the bad guys, they were never clowns. They were never a joke. They never did stupid decisions. They never did anything illogical. When you take it all of, they want to turn this Goodyear blimp into a flying...
I'm ready. When are you going to shoot?
Mine, mortar, ball bearings everywhere.
Flechettes. Not ball
Thank you, you're right.
Flechettes.
I stand corrected. You're absolutely right. He made a point of that.
Completely symmetrical.
Every decision they made was to advance that end.
Mhm.
Why did they blow up Black Widow's car if you're trying to steal a package of magic goo?
What happens if you blow up that magic goo? Well, maybe that's what... Did they want that to happen? What? I don't...
They never made it clear.
Why doesn't he just blow the whole thing up then? If you eliminate the package, doesn't that solve the problem also?
Why are you waiting for your target to be moving? You know where she's at. Why don't you wait till 3 a.m. when she's asleep? Steal it. Set her house on fire.
Just missile strike the whole thing. You just like, oh, well, that whole block area is disintegrated.
It's in a valley.
Problem solved.
You have to surrender so much logic to watch a Phase 4 or 5 Marvel movie and show that it's painful. It's an exercise in insanity. I have to pretend that this 5'2", 120-pound woman is capable of this.
Now the other one, she's 5'8". Dahlia. Dahlia's 5'8".
That's tall for a woman, and she still never overpowers anyone. Even when she's the nun, the nurse, pretending to be the nurse. And he's taking her down because he thinks she might be trying to assassinate his partner.
Mm-hmm.
And he still turns his back on her because she looks so harmless. And then we have Black Widow, where she's got some...
Because you could tell me, that's the way the whole friends thing works.
Yeah.
Friend zoned, what is his name, Malcolm? I just think of his friend zone.
Aw, he's sensitive. See why you keep him around.
Friend zone that she's exploiting. Who gives her a place, a car, a helicopter, even though she can pay him maybe.
I'm going to have to charge you more.
Supplies I can tally, but you bring me attention from the authorities or my prices go up.
What are you charging? What money does she even have? What is this?
And what connections? Maybe they had been together. Maybe she'd saved his life. Maybe she'd saved his wife's life. If you had given me any reason other than he had a crush on her, she thought she was real pretty, which is all they gave us. He didn't owe her anything in this world.
It's kind of like most characters in the Marvel universe nowadays. They don't really give them hardly any backstory or any kind of rationalization. They just kind of throw them in there like, this is what their role is in this exact moment. And then they're like...
You nailed it. You just nailed it. Plot needs this. Character does this.
So we got to have this person provide them with this. And then it continues on the plot. And that's it.
You can give me that guy. I can invent you that guy who would put himself in millions of dollars of debt for Natasha. I can write you 3 versions of that character, probably within 20 minutes, a rough outline. But none of them would look like that douchebag. She saved his wife's life. She saved his life. She got his children out.
Yeah.
She went back for him. She put her tit in the ringer. She talked to the U.S. government for him and made sure he didn't spend 20 years in jail.
That would make sense.
You could do any of those things where he owes her and he's going to owe her.
It's all just money. Like, it's just like vague
Not even
money.
The promise of maybe money.
Yeah.
If you had made it obvious that he was staying over and that was apparently the top tier worth millions of dollars and a helicopter level ass, you know what? I don't know what she can do. I don't know. Maybe it is.
You go into her like
Maybe
every
it
shot
is.
of
that ass.
Of that ass.
Oh, that ass. And so you know what? You would still have to make it obvious that she was giving him a piece of that ass, that $1 million ass, if she's getting a helicopter.
Yeah, it was hard to tell if they were trying to imply it.
He flirted with her and she shut him down. I remember that because I clocked it.
You've always been a really good friend to me.
That's what every man wants to hear.
But they had to make her a time's up feminist spy Black Sunday still makes sense.
Yeah, but I'm saying the 2021 one, the timeline's all
There's a
all screwed up.
floating base.
1,000 tons of steel just floating in the sky with magical technology.
I'd like to change your plan. I completely demolished one of the engines and we are going into a controlled crash.
I'm a girl on that kind of stuff. But even I know, theoretically,
It shit don't work that way.
that's not in orbit. That's not out of gravity. There would have to be how much power trying to counter gravity for how many millions of tons?
Light-ass blimps, okay.
The technology in Black Widow does not make sense. The technology in the Marvel world is silly. And frankly, it takes me out of it. Started out with Thor, Iron Man, Captain America.
Man in a suit of armor. Take that off. What are you?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. You're a laboratory experiment, Rogers. Everything special about you came out of a bottle.
You people are so petty and tiny.
Masculine. You had Iron Man was your inventor.
It's impossible. Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
Slightly morally unscrupulous.
French, Italian, Russian, Latin. Who speaks Latin?
No one speaks Latin.
No
It's
one
a
speaks
dead
Latin?
language. You can read Latin or you can
Yeah.
write Latin,
Did
but you can't
model in
speak Latin.
Tokyo? Because she modeled in Tokyo.
Captain America. The idealization of World War II American goodness.
There's only one God, man. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't dress like that.
And then you had Thor, which was just all-powerful, archetypal, alien god, but still very much in the first couple.
Did she suffer? I did not come here to share our grief. Instead, I offer you the chance of a far richer sacrament.
Go on.
I know you seek vengeance as much as I do.
The, I'll have another throw my glass, the true Thor.
This drink, I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another!
Is how I think of him, not clown Thor.
And flick! Oh, you flick too hard, damn it!
Was impressive, masculine, competent. He was obtuse at certain points. But when you have that level of power, there's a lot of shit that people will let slide. I loved all that. That's what built the entire Marvel world. And then they spent the past, 10, 15 years actively deconstructing it, thinking that you can just lop in broads and skinny children to replace these heroic men.
You've got to do better.
Do you not know why men watch? Do you not know why women watch? Women don't watch because they relate to things. Women put themselves into a story. Women don't identify with a character. Men identify with a character. Men will want to be, they see themselves
Most
as
men
Superman.
they put themselves in that role.
Women don't do that. That's not how women watch stories. Women watch a story. We will insert ourselves as us in our minds as a separate character into that world. I don't ever identify with a female character in a story. It's a different level of brain because you guys do hierarchy and competition.
Well, men don't do the
We
social.
lay nets of social.
Yeah, men don't have the social brain structure as much. They have the technical. Guys are going out on missions and they have to go kill said creature, whatever, and creatures and bring back them and eat. And that's
with women. If women need other women to watch their children, make sure they don't die, there's a certain level of like lying and being nice that you're going to have to be around that cave just to go along, to get along and keep things smooth. So deceit and that subtle social shit becomes critical. With men, it's much more about, are you competent? Can you do this? Are you strong? Are you lying or not? If you tell me you're going to do something, are you going to show up?
Are you going to become a threat for everybody else and say if we're going hunting? And are you going to screw up and give it away and then all the animals run off and you don't get the kill?
Exactly.
And nobody eats.
Exactly.
Because you're an idiot.
Yes. Yes. Your competence matters. I respect that for men. I see that as a masculine ideal. And when I watch war, I don't want to watch a war movie about women. Women don't go to war. And they shouldn't. At the same time, men aren't going to have a quilting circle. I want to watch all this, if I'm watching Victorian ball gowns and women sniping at each other over fancy dinner parties, which I can totally be into. Let's not act like I cannot be into a historical costume drama. I can. But that's not the same thing I want when I'm watching The Great Escape. I want to watch men being men. I want to watch honor. I want to watch that back and forth. It's different. And so quit putting women in male roles and then clutching your pearls that I don't identify with her like a man. I don't identify with characters like a... You know what I mean? Like, I'm so frustrated that I can't be served. Because you're trying to serve me what you want. You want me to want. You want me to want a desexualized Black Widow. I like the Black Widow that was making out with Steve Rogers on the escalator. That was hot. That was cool. And let's go back to character breakdowns. Melina. So Rachel Weisz, I love her. Her character was evil. Her character was patently evil. She turned them in to the general, right? General Schwarzkopf, Tykov, or whatever his name was.
Right.
General Dreykov.
When she has them all there at dinner, she calls him and turns him in. And then, but this is not a part of some plot where she wants to get in and kill, I think, Tarkov. Kill Tarkov herself. She just has like another change of heart. Let me fix this movie and change the least amount possible. We have Black Widow being about 5 years old in 1989, like it should have been. They escape from the Alabama coast. Little Yelena is the biological child of Melina and Alexei. So they told this is me making it up. This is me inventing a story that could somewhat explain your idiotic plot to Black Widow. Yelena is Alexei and Melina's child. When they get over there, the girls go to the Red Room for the first time. Melina and Alexei are told that both girls have been killed. Theoretically, if they've been together 2 years as spies, they got this kid as a baby. In this scenario, which is the only scenario that makes sense with the ages that ScarJo is, and the ages of the fall of the USSR, it'd have been babies. So the spies are told they're split up, and Melina has been told that both these girls are killed. Then she finds out later they're alive, and everything she's been doing for 20 years has been based on a lie, and that level of eternal rage. I'd have bought that. Now, and at that point, with her science crazy, I'm going to let them get captured, but I know the system so well, they're not actually going to be in any danger because I know the procedure.
It wouldn't be a last minute thing, but it would be a...
But as soon as they appeared at her door, and she realized she'd been lied to, it would have been revenge mode. And then you could have had the back and forth with me. But if that point, if at dinner, there'd been a break, or she realized Yelena was alive, Yelena, her daughter, and we could have had that.
Everything was so hardcore into the mind control. There was nobody that had any free will, basically, other than...
Melina had free will this whole time. This is why you would have had to work to make her not a psycho. Switching horses midstream makes no sense. And you could have had her get revenge, a mother's revenge. That could have been sweet. Give Alexei a redemption line. Make him actually save his daughters. Make him come in at the moment where either Yelena or Natasha is not going to beat Taskmaster. And he comes in and saves him. Even if he takes the mega ass whooping, and I'm talking about the Captain Kirk 5-minute long waiting for Scotty to get the warp drive back ass whooping. I love that. I love an underpowered man taking a hard beating to buy time. That is one of my favorite tropes.
The underdog who comes back and saves the day kind of stuff. Yep.
I didn't hear no bell.
Been like this all day.
That. I love that in any form. And the fact that he'd be fighting for his daughters that he thought were dead.
Yeah, he definitely did his character dirty.
If I cried when I read about his widowed bride, something touched me deep inside. The day, the music died.
They did all their characters dirty.
Yep.
Tell me, how did you keep your heart?
You could have turned that into a real family movie, but the problem is you can't because it's a prequel, because it would have affected the outcome of later movies. If she'd actually found her family, she certainly would have mentioned it. Do a strictly her and Hawkeye Budapest adventure. Actually do the Budapest movie, but just those two, and almost make it
Just like Budapest all over again!
You and I remember Budapest very differently.
a James Bond, Lady Bond, Hawkeye, Black Widow, back end. That way, if it's just the two of them being human, they can be underpowered. You could have given me better movies. You should have given it to me sooner. You should have given me a Black Widow movie in 2016, in 2014.
They're like, whoa, they really like this character. Let's make a prequel.
No, we were already in milk run mode.
What can we get out of her? Well, she's probably not going to be acting any for another as this character for a few more. So let's do a prequel, milk it out, and toss her to the garbage bin. That was pretty much what they did. It's all about the money.
It's not that, it's the fact that there was no hope for her character at that point. Even if it wasn't with Bruce, Natasha deserved a husband, maybe a couple of adopted kids, or at least helping out with kids. She deserved that. She deserved to retire and live a soft life. I wanted that for her. I know the way they did the sacrifice. I like that because really when it comes down to Hawkeye, who is a father and a husband, versus Black Widow, who's a spinster,
It's okay.
Please. She needs to be the one that dies because it's less important that she lives. And I can accept that. I can accept that. But you can't do a movie prequel after she's already had that death. That's the saddest damn death. She didn't get a happy ending. I'm just frustrated because ScarJo deserved better, Black Widow deserves better. And frankly, if you're not going to do it right, you shouldn't have done it at all.
All comes down to the money. The writing and the money.
At what cost? At integrity? At storytelling?
They don't care. Did X millions of dollars, so it doesn't matter.
But it's like seeing someone take a giant diamond that could have been cut down to something perfect and big, and it's just shattered into a bunch of little shitty stones. She's like, well, I got a bunch of diamonds out of it. You're an idiot. You broke it.
They see it like they milked the cow for all the milk it's had because it was almost out of milk.
It wasn't, though. You had infinite stories to tell. The problem is you cannot put your mind virus, this nonsense that women are smarter and stronger than men. What is this? And even this idea that nerdy guys are smarter than the big strong guy. If you just look at horses, dogs, any creature, and humans, tall, attractive, symmetrical, often goes with intelligence. That all groups together because it's all health related. I'm tired of these limp-wristed white men is the only thing I'm allowed to see on TV. That's all I'm attracted to. So you have for the past 10 years made it to where I'm not allowed to get horned up for anyone on TV. And then you're mad that I'm not going to see Timothy Chalamet, 130 pounds soaking wet. What? What happened? I want Robert Shaw. Where's my Robert Beefy Modern Shaw? Even the Chris Maloney. We were watching, from Superband. Beefy, hunky, manly dudes used to be everywhere. You couldn't throw a stone in Hollywood without cracking a square jaw, and now it's the active degradation of masculinity.
Let's just make him weak, make him get destroyed in every single way.
The Black Widow movie would have been so much better with a strong Alexei that could have carried a lot of it. Even him being an idiot. I don't mind a blustering, super strong idiot if he's got a heart of gold.
The most accurate way of looking at it might be, what are the writers allowed to write about? What is going to be allowed to enter into? And that's the point. That's the point that movies have gotten to. It's like, what are they going to be allowed to release?
They have all these little rules of things you can say and you can't say. So all of this mind control has made it to where this character can't say this. Natasha can't be sexual. She can't seduce anyone. Alexei can't be paternal. Melina can't be maternal. Elena, she can be a degenerate, but she can't be feminine. All of these things that are actively against what the biological human makeup of these people's bodies would be.
Feminine character in that whole movie. I mean, you think about it.
Not
a single one.
You look at Black Sunday. Oh, when she walks in and he's psycho.
Oh,
the house is
he plays
wrecked.
good crazy.
Where have you been?
Talks him out of it.
Just
Talk.
Darling, this
just starts undressing and he's like, yeah, okay.
Self-control. To me, that's what they teach at spy agencies, I imagine. I've never been to a spy agency, but I would imagine they teach you how to calm down a crazy man.
That, speaking English and
the accents. Oh my.
The intentional accents that are when they're uncalled for. Russian spies, just have them speak Russian.
Or have an American there where everybody has to speak perfect American because it's rude.
But none of it had any value. It's all just a tool. It's just all a lever. It's just a lever to move the story along.
I'm okay with telling stories and telling even silly superhero stories. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with characters having even superpowers.
You're not supposed to think about it that much.
No.
You're thinking too much.
No. Human storytelling is a way we explain aberrant behavior. So you cannot tell me a story where the characters aren't consistent, where the world doesn't work how the world works.
Right.
Alexei, a real dad. Maybe he even went crazy when he found out his daughters were dead, and that's how he ended up in prison, because he tried to kill the thing. You could have made him noble.
It's all about money.
No, but it's not about money. It's about destroying.
And destroying. It's a twofer. Your money and you destroy.
You would make more money with a good story, and they know this. Spending money to fill people's brains with slop.
Yeah. You have to, it's about propaganda.
It's like they're trying to destroy the act of good storytelling itself. Because it seems to be about the dumbing down of the populace.
Thinking too much. That's what I said. You're thinking too much about this.
Well,
you need
I gotta
to not think about it.
I got to do enough thinking for all the people that have decided to let these vampires do their thinking for.
critical thinking is the arch enemy. And that's exactly what you see in media. You see it in Facebook and all. They've intentionally designed all these algorithms to eliminate critical thinking as much as possible.
And it's why it's more important than ever that people who are capable of critical thinking must think critically. It's not enough to say Black Widow 2021 is a bad movie. You have to ask, why did a studio of that size spend that amount of money and waste that kind of acting capital on that story?
Yep. Why?
It is pushing the wedge between men and women. It's reiterating male incompetence, which every single Marvel movie has done in phase 4 and 5 is make pretty much every man incompetent. And they make women powerful, but they're not actually powerful. They're bitter, stoic, fake men, and they're pushing them all towards degeneracy. They're all drunks. Supergirl's a drunk. Yelena's a drunk.
Sister's drunk, yeah. They have a bottle of vodka and she just drinks everywhere. Yeah. That's how they portrayed her.
If women copy that, or if women think that's normal, that's how you end up with a birth rate below sustainability. It's destroying the culture. They've worked for 40 years, since the pill, since no-fault divorce, since bra-burning bullshit, to try to convince women that you should be a whore and not be held accountable, and nothing bad will come of it. Well, it will. And the thing is, even if no external consequences happen, there's an internal cost. There's a wear on your soul for living rough. There's a wear on your soul for not being happily married at 19 and going from a father who's emotionally mature, incredibly competent and capable, and loves and spoils you, to the house of your husband who is incredibly competent and capable and loves and spoils you. Somehow, that passage became evil and passé in this culture. And they want you to go through the slut Olympics of college and pretend that getting run hard and put up wet has no long-term emotional consequences for women who are the most emotional creatures. We are basically like horses with titties. We just smell stuff and freak out. It's all feeling.
Pheromones. Controlled you with pheromones.
We're fun to ride, and we can do a lot of neat stuff, and men love us. They'll spend a ton of money on a horse.
You can't attack us because of pheromones.
You serious?
Let's not even get into the mechanics. Let's not. I can't. Mahler did that. My darling Mahler already got into the mechanics of that. He got a 5.5-hour video on it. Love him. Love that Mahler for that video.
I guess he did go into it. He got twice the length of the entire movie in tearing it apart.
That Welshman. I think he might be the only person on earth who despises that movie at the level of I do. I swear I watched it for so long when it was done. I was in a weird state where I thought we were dating and about asked him what he wanted for dinner. I generally don't listen to a man info dump that long unless it was the strangest thing. I had to stop watching for a while. I was like, oh no, you have parasocialed too close to the sun. You need to stop. It's why eventually I'm going to have to do... She ruined the Indiana Jones one.
Sorry.
But the one thing she did was this show called, I don't know, it was basically called D-Gen.
She's right, you know.
Or a piece of shit. And I can't remember the name of it, but it was like, scumbag.
Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Hell no!
German? Forget it, he's rolling.
And in the second season, she seduces a priest. And it was so hard for me to get through because there's quite a lot of the shit she does that's similar that I had to work through in like 20s and 30s and stuff. Fleabag.
Well, thank God that's over.
Here's the problem. When I went through it, I realized when you do D-Gen shit that hurts people, one, there are consequences. Those consequences are appropriate. And two, the goal is to not be the kind of person that hurts other people as you selfishly move through life. That's the lesson you're supposed to learn. Season 1, rather than learning that lesson in Fleabag for season 2, she doubles down on evil. They are trying to preach evil to middle-aged and young women. And this is why it's like I feel it's so important to get out there. As someone who has lived that road, I was raised in that. I grew up in that. I did everything I could as a straight, autistic, feminist woman to follow the liberal rules of society and try to fall in love, get married, and have children. 41 and single. See how well that works? The only liberal women I ever saw get married, one of three things was going on. One, they trapped a man. They picked a guy who wasn't all that into them, and they got pregnant accidentally. So then they have some sad dad who looks like a trapped animal. Second option, you get a guy that's basically going to drag his dick around the mud quietly. Third option,
Would you drive a tent peg?
That's what I came across in my years of attempting to be a liberal, Democrat, straight dating. That's not how women should live. Women should be protected, traumatized the least amount possible. They should go from their father's house to their husband's house. I'm perfectly fine with being an asshole because I did it the other way, and I know the cost. I don't want that for any woman. And if I'm not willing... See, that's the thing. Most women aren't willing to straight up say, I chose poorly.
You chose poorly.
No, I'm going to stand here and be the melty-faced Nazi. The old woman with no children and no husband who chose poorly. Now, was I raised poorly? Did my society funnel me into those choices? Yes, absolutely. If you were a stay-at-home mom in the 90s, it's because you were a failure or an idiot. Or at least that's how it was portrayed on TV. But that still doesn't excuse me. I made the choices I made.
You gotta get your slaves.
Well, really, is it for office slaves? Or is it adult daycare so our population
that too
cuts down lower and lower and lower? Because I tell you what, at every office I've ever worked at, none of my jobs mattered.
And they produce less kids. Because if they're working, they're not having kids, they're not take care of those kids. If they're stay-at-home moms, they'll probably have more kids because
wear down and make the core population of America, the heritage population of America, have a declining birth rate. Heritage Americans are people who can trace their lineage to the Revolutionary War. It's a big thing now.
That's not that far back.
But they're starting to make that a naughty word. If you consider yourself to be more American because you can trace yourself back to the Revolutionary War than someone whose mama came over on a boat 15 years ago.
America, built to last.
Yeah, that's right.
No, that's right. They be flying that flag all night.
Red, white, and blue.
Thank you for joining us today. We really do appreciate your time. I'm Lorelei, and this is
Space Deviant.
And together we are
Southern
Fried
Cinema
Cinema Siblings. And remember, the most important story is the story you tell yourself, so
Make it a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. You're still here, are you? Well, why don't you make yourself useful? Click the share button. Click the subscribe button. May as well go ahead and click for the next episode, too.